Be live, bitches!
Coming soon to this theater.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Horror Movie Club, the club where, what do? We watch horror movies, B. Just so you know, every week we basically designate a horror movie that we're going to watch. It's always something that is deliberately not behind a paywall. That is so you can actually watch the movie in advance, or if just from listening to us talking about it, you think to yourself, hey, this is a movie I want to check out. Guess what? There is a link below in the description where you can click on it, and it will take you to a free, unedited copy of the movie. It's usually a link to something like Tubi or Plex or Peacock. Tonight's link is to a pretty decent YouTube rip, although I think the sound could have been a little bit better. You know, if I were you, I would actually like maybe spring the extra like $3 just to get like the Amazon Prime rental. But then again, that's me, and your mileage may vary. But yes, tonight we are also having on Ben Fuselier. Wait, hold on a second. Let me have Ben on. Ben, did I just fuck your name up?
Yep.
A little bit. You were close. You were very close.
Okay.
It's Fuselier.
Fuselier. Okay. All right. Right. I mean, you know, I don't know why I'm apologizing to you because, like, I'm sure you get Fusiler, like,
all the time.
99% of the time. But I'm one of those people. I got a funky name, so I always try to be like really careful to try. At least, here's the thing: I make it an attempt. Is that people don't even bother like trying to pronounce your name correctly. That pisses me off.
That's part of why I just go by Fusebox.
There you go. There you go. And then, of course, we got your boy, Matt. What's going on, my brother, man?
What's up, man? Just chilling. Just had a birthday a few days back. That was pretty fun.
Yes.
Got some brewskis at the beer store. Yeah, man. Richard Embry's making me a shirt.
Nice.
Help me promote my new book, Hell War. So I can't wait for that to come out. And yeah, man, just been working on my comic and some other stuff too, you know about. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got some shit coming your way. Pops, what's going on with you, brother, man? Okay, all right. No news is good news. No news is good news. It's all good. But yeah, Matt, once again, happy birthday to you, brother.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
Thanks, dude.
And I can't wait
Oh.
for Hell War. I am excited for friggin' Hell War. I can't wait just to read the damn thing and also get behind it and promote it and everything. And that last illustration you did, man, congratulations. You are leveling up, brother, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Got
it.
it, man. No, I mean, look, you know, I call him like I see him. If you weren't leveling up, you know, I try not to give false compliments because, you know,
it's not going to help me any bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
yeah.
Your true friends will be ruthless with you.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Right? Maybe not sadistic. Right? Maybe not sadistic.
Then they're having fun, right?
Yeah, because then they're getting off on your misfortune. You know, it's like whenever I've seen a friend's work and it's been substandard or it's been bad or something like that, it doesn't make me happy. You know, it's one of the reasons I don't like listening to friends' music or reading their comics or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Because it just makes me nervous. Because
Right,
I'm just
right.
like, it's like
Don't fail. I don't like it.
It's like a high wire act. Like, don't fall, don't fall.
And see, and for me, it's exactly the opposite. I'm like, go, oh, go.
No, that's the right attitude. That's the right attitude.
No, that's good. You guys got your own,
Yeah,
I mean, I want it to be good, I want it to be good first, and then it's like, if it gets me in that first, it's like Mike Barron says, it's like he uses that first page to reach out and grab you by the throat. And if your book reaches out and grabs me by the throat right away, then I'm gonna be rooting for you all the way through. And it's like
you got to get them in the first 5 pages, minimum.
Yeah, I think so.
That's why my 6-Gun Gorilla book was better than like the Boom 6-Gun Gorilla book, because I gave you some 6-Gun Gorilla like right on like page 3, and like the other one gave you like a gorilla like on the very last page, and it's just like what the hell?
Wow.
Just like
right?
What? Talking about false advertising. But anyway, folks, we are here tonight to talk about 1979's Prophecy, not to be confused with The Prophecy, which is from I think
90 something.
97.
It was 90 something, right?
90 something.
So 90s.
Yes. Oh, so 90s. Yeah. And that was originally titled God's Army, and was retitled The Prophecy literally right before it was released in the theaters. It was like a last minute.
They're both pretty good names, but Prophecy just has. No, they're both pretty good names. Yeah, I would just.
Yeah, well, I mean, Prophecy is a little more ominous.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to The Prophecy, but whatever.
Right.
And we did The Prophecy on this stream, which is a fucking awesome movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, dope.
It's one of those movies where every time I see it, like my admiration for it kind of grows.
I was supposed to go back and watch the rest of them. Like I remember watching bits and pieces of the other ones, but I haven't yet gone back and watched those. And there was another movie called Gabriel that was pretty decent, like in that fallen angel genre of horror, like Legion.
Oh yeah,
it was an Australian one, I think. I think it was called. I think the lead actor played Spartacus, if I'm not mistaken. On Stars with Sam Raimi. I think he passed away.
Yeah.
It was a pretty decent movie. I remember it being a pretty decent movie. It had swords and martial arts and fallen angels and shit.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for that shit too. I'm a sucker for that stuff too. But Ben, dude, if you want to drop the link for your book, please do, and we should take a look at your campaign. Now, I read the first Outlaw Nights and I really enjoyed it. So, looking forward to the next one, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, my biggest issue has just been exposure. Not a lot of people know me.
That is the problem that most of us have. That is the biggest obstacle, actually, that we just have in general in indie comics, is just getting people to know that we exist. And that means putting yourself out there. Been happy to see that that Crystal's actually been putting herself out there. Crystal McGee.
Yeah.
Right? Have you noticed? She's been on a lot of streams lately, and she's actually on camera. I'm just like, way to go, sister. It's like, but it's like people have to kind of they need it, because it's not just that they're investing in your book; they're kind of investing in you.
Yeah.
In a sense. Pops, can you load up that link, because I'm having trouble just clicking on it and.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Thanks,
okay, yeah, okay. Next time, put it in the private chat so we can just grab it and drop it.
My bad.
No, it's all good. You're good.
I got to go to Brian's channel to grab that.
Yeah. Real quick, wanted to do a little weekend horror thing. There's actually really not that much going on, except I noticed that I think Nicolas Cage is going to be appearing in Dead by Daylight. For those of you that haven't played that game, it's basically like your slasher movie, and you're either playing one of the slashers, and they got the licenses for a bunch of them, right? Like you can play Pinhead from Hellraiser, you can play Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you can play Freddy Krueger, all of those characters. and I actually recommend that game. Basically, you go around trying to catch people and put them on meat hooks. So that's always fun.
A bunch of shit just hit me at once right now. Like I was going to tell you, I saw the Evil Dead, the new one, the remake. You know, I thought it was cool. I mean, I thought there was a little too much like forced like feminine leads in there and shit. Like they're always killing off the dudes, but it was still a dope horror movie. I don't like how they're always like you know in the remakes they're always using a female like lead, like picking up the chainsaw, saying like come get some. It's just like I wish they would do something different. That we did that already. Both movies are still dope, right? I did the monsters. I like the mother. I like the whole like Jumanji aspect that they did in this one, where each chapter like you kind of see like the demon that they're going to turn into as it plays forward. You know, they haven't done.
Oh,
that
and
before.
the Necronomicon, dude.
In the Necronomicon
itself, the design of it, the way it has teeth.
And it's a new one, and so there's 3 different ones, so it's still canonical with the first one. So I did like that. And then I just got an epiphany right now. I would be totally down with the character Red from Mandy going into the Evil Dead verse and fucking shit up. I would be cool with that. As long as it's him going in there, his character, the lumberjack, you know, in that time period. Fuck it, I'd be down with that.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people have been... I think a lot of the reviews I heard of Evil Dead 4, they were really euphoric at first, right? Yeah. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh... Like, that wasn't as good as maybe I was expecting, but what part of Evil Dead 5 don't you understand?
Yeah, and, like, you're not going to reinvent the wheel or anything, and, like, I'm not going to have, like, you know, as long as it's entertaining and they you know, the right people are producing it, which would be, you know, like, the 4 amigos that did the first one, which they're all pretty much there. And then well acted, cool set, they're bringing some new stuff to the lore, which they did, you know, with the new Necronomicon. Again, you know, And I liked how they changed into the different villains or the different demons. They showed the demons in the illustration, you know, and then they would turn into that one, you know. So I kind of like Jumanji, like a new chapter, like this is what's gonna happen. So that was dope.
And I also liked, you know, as opposed to the tape recorder, you had the kid that was a DJ. Yeah. And he had like the records that were printed like in the 1920s, and he was just like. Yeah.
I guess Bruce Campbell was one of the fathers on there or something like that, lending his voice. He was one of the characters, allegedly. Yeah, I have to go back and re-listen to it. I didn't pick up on it that quick, but he is an actor, so.
Well, yeah, but also it's just like you're gonna piss off the fans if you don't include him in some capacity.
Something, you know. I mean, he was in the other one at the end. He's just like groovy, like just pops up. But.
Yeah. Say hi to another Matt in the chat. What's up, Matthew Boyce? How you doing, brother?
What up, Matt? Oh yeah. Anyway, real quick, I just want to take a look because I haven't seen this yet, but this is a trailer. Are you getting audio on this?
I'm not.
Nope.
Not yet.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Let me.
No.
All right. Let me do something else to secure that. And in the meantime, let's take a look at the new campaign for the new Outlaw Knights. Let's see here. Yes. So, Ben, tell people about Outlaw Knights and why they should go check it out and why they should back it.
Absolutely. Well, this story takes place in the 31st century. Humanity has begun colonizing into outer space, and history is very much repeating itself as the nations of Earth are all at each other's throats, competing over territory and resources. It's a chaotic time period, and I was very generous here because we're about 10 years in the wake of World War III. Now, keep in mind, I wrote this before World War III was a possibility. So...
Right. Before we were in the beginnings of World War III. The preamble.
And so basically, in this time period, piracy is on the rise. Crime is booming. And so in the midst of all this, we've got our main character, Cyrus Lawson, he's had a very rough upbringing, so he's settled in a small, out-of-the-way colony called Therese, and he joined the colony guard there, kind of expecting to be like a small-town sheriff. You know, he wasn't expecting a lot of trouble. But right at the beginning of issue 1, that dream was ripped right from under him as the pirates of the ship Hazard invaded his settlement looking for a special piece of data that's leading to a treasure everybody has their eyes on. So, without giving issue 1 away, push comes to shove, our boy is kidnapped by these pirates. And so now he's got to learn how to survive in the underworld and kind of get over his very rigid sense of morality, because he's going to learn that, good and evil aren't as easy to recognize in times like these.
Right, especially when you're dealing with pirates.
Exactly.
Yeah, so what kind of tiers do you have? You've got, let's see. You got, we should take a look. Let me blow this up a little bigger. There we go. Art's looking badass. Of course, saw a little bit of our man Sim up above.
Yes, indeed. Sim did the second half of issue 1, because I think I've told this before, but like our artist on issue 1, halfway through he vanished off the face of the earth.
That's right.
Like, it's not even like he didn't ghost me or anything. It's that he just vanished. Like, nobody's heard from him. It's bizarre.
Like, he just got disappeared.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what happened.
He's probably stuffed into like a suitcase that's like in a ditch by the side of a road somewhere.
It's possible.
But what happened? Sim, being the man's man that he is, does what he does and came to the rescue.
Absolutely.
She got issue 1, 2 in digitally, right there.
Yes,
absolutely.
Some of us, some people in other parts of the world don't want to pay like $50 for fucking shipping.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And it's not there yet, but give it another year. I mean, I think right now to Australia it's like 26, 28 or something like that.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, it's insane. So yes,
Germany.
You get, naturally, if you're doing a second issue, you want to make sure that people can always get the back issues.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we need to spread the word of Outlaw Nights to every corner of the earth. Preach the gospel.
Word. And this is on. Is this on Fund My Comic?
Yes.
Excellent. And
I tried a Kickstarter campaign last time around, and then right in the middle was when all the controversy about Kickstarter kicked up. And so it was just great timing.
Right, and you don't want to get you don't want to get canceled. You don't want to get canceled in your anti-cancel culture scene, do you? And yeah, I fucking said it. I said it. When you've got cancel culture in your anti-cancel culture scene, you done fucked up, son.
When your anti-culture becomes cancel culture, you forgot about anti-cancel culture.
But yeah, so you can get both. You can get both of them in a single package.
Yes. And that's a limited 2-for-1 special right there. That's where you can get both for the price of one. And we only got 30 of those available, so get on it.
Get down on it. Get down on it. Yeah, grab that, folks. And also, this is always an important thing for me to emphasize. It is so easy to create an account on fundmycomic.com. It is so not a hassle. Because I think some people, they just want to go with what they know, because it's just like, well, they already got an account. All they have to do is just click a button. It'll take you less than 5 minutes. It'll take you maybe 90 seconds.
Oh, yeah. No, I really like the setup on the website. It's very convenient.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I closed down my 6-Gun Gorilla campaign on Indiegogo, and we'll be relaunching on fundmycomic.com sometime, hopefully, in the next month or two. Probably 2 months or something like that.
Nice.
And what else you got? What other? You saw posters too, right?
Yep, we got a few poster tiers there.
How long is that campaign for, man?
Right now, we're looking at about 39 more days.
Okay. Cool.
Asterisk.
Excelente. Very, very good. Pops, we should run the trailer?
Okay, I could do that. No, let's see.
This trailer is brand new.
Bitchin'. And,
okay, I'm just going to say one thing. I got to say one thing real quick. As a
Uh-oh.
promoter, okay, some people listen to our shows while driving their cars. And all they heard there was some music. You got to give us a voice. Tell us the story. You got to give us something, man. Because not everybody... Look, I got a friend in the madness that's blind.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he can't see it. All he can do is hear what you tell him, and that's what he buys stuff based off. You know, I mean, he can't see our little videos. Man, he gets the book and he gets it real close to his face, and he can see it. But you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
you know, some people are driving in their car and they're just listening.
That
They're
never
not-
occurred to me.
You know, give us a voice, give us something. You know, and that's just, you know, stuff that everybody pretty much finds out over time. It's not like a critique. It's just like,
Right.
you know, reach your whole audience. I mean, you never know if somebody's got time to watch this on replay.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not even a question of busting balls. We're always giving each other feedback on our campaigns, and people are always
absolutely.
like pointing things out. People, you know, will point things out to me like, oh, you know, you should have a look at different image, blah 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 blah. Like, you know, we were trying to help Crystal last time with her webpage, and it's looking better now, and she's got herself out there. But yeah, folks, go check this out. I read the first issue and really enjoyed it.
I got another question though. What's
Yes.
he drinking? What's he drinking, Ben?
Jim
Oh, that's
Beam,
whiskey right there.
What
Space
kind of
whiskey.
what brand?
It's a futuristic brand. It's
Jim
1,000 years.
Oh, it doesn't even have
It's fuse box bourbon, yo.
That's
what it is.
Come up with a name for it, bro, because people are going to want to know what we drink.
Yeah, no,
I wanted
seriously.
to know, right? I wanted to
Yeah,
know.
no, it's cool.
Now you need shot glasses. You need Apple Nice shot glasses.
Yep.
That's the first time I've gotten a question about the liquor. It's always been about the sci-fi elements. Everybody's always asking me about the mechanics.
Right.
And here we have it also in the chat it's Matt again, I think, but they also have a book on Fund My Comics, Sector 7. So while you're over there checking out this one, check out that one.
Absolutely. Everybody, like I keep saying ad nauseum, Luke built a canoe. Time for us all to grab an oar.
Dude,
It's
there's some great stuff over there. I mean,
there
what
is.
can you say?
There is.
You cannot beat talent. Wherever you can find the talent and you want to buy the books, you buy them.
Yes, and because fucking Indiegogo.
Living the dream, brother. Living
Yeah.
the dream. That's what I always say, right?
Yeah, everybody go check that out. I got that clip of let's see, of Nicolas Cage in Dead by Daylight. Let's take a look at that. Because I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. It's like, how funny is it that Nicolas Cage was like a joke almost for a while because of all the crappy movies he was making.
About a decade or so, right?
Yeah, to like pay off the IRS.
Yeah.
And now it's like he's the man.
Now he's Christopher fucking Lee.
it's
crazy.
There's nothing.
Just keeps rolling on that. He'll be fine if he develops that.
Most definitely.
But if he, come on, man. He's done good movies and he's done bad movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, damn, man. Between Andy, what up, Sam?
Damn.
We were just talking about you, brother, man.
More.
Let's take a little look at this.
Imagination. It can shape the fabric of reality, transforming everything you may think you know. But as with any power of such magnitude, it's unpredictable. At first, I thought it was all a cruel joke.
So I don't understand. Well, we'll obviously find out whether or not you're playing Nicolas Cage as one of the killers or if Nicolas Cage is one of the survivors.
Right.
Or maybe both.
Did my last performance attract a force of great cosmic evil? Truth is, none of that matters now. Because even after all the death, decay, and darkness, I still remember exactly who I am.
I like how they made him look how he looks like now, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
He's starting to look. He's looking better too, you know.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. Now, one of the things I love in that game is, of course, I prefer playing the killers, right? But it's funny because I can't help myself. I start acting. That is to say, really? I start, because I think to myself, like, it's part of my responsibility is to entertain the other players.
Okay.
So if I'm playing Leatherface, I have to act like Leatherface.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so if somebody gets away from me, I don't necessarily go right after them. I go, right? You start going crazy with the chainsaw and everything.
With the sound, with the voice and everything, right?
Oh, yeah. Although the best is Michael Myers. Because basically what happens is you have to fill up this gauge to get like the superpower. And the way you fill it up is by just standing there and just staring at motherfuckers. So people will be like trying to like fix these generators. That's like how they advance in the game. And then suddenly they'll look over and they'll just see me just standing there, not coming after them, just standing there, just staring at them. That's so much fun, man.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, man. Now I know Sims played the Evil Dead game.
Yeah, I want to buy that, dude. That's like something. Hopefully, maybe that's something I want to play. I guess they have it online, and they have like a first person. So I'm gonna get it. And I think they have it on PS4, so I still have that. And yeah, I gotta get that one.
It's on my Steam. It's on my Steam like wish list. And I'm pissed off too because like Steam is having a summer sale and like all the shit I'm into is like, it's on sale. And I don't have any fucking money for that shit. Right?
Yeah.
God damn it. I hate that crap. So, tonight's movie is, of course, Prophecy. Let me bring up the poster that scared the living shit out of me when I was but a wee lad. Let's see here. So Ben, did you watch this?
Yes, I watched it last night, and I was moved by the activism and by Italian men playing Native Americans. It was
Armand Desante in red face.
My boy Armand Desante. I am the law.
Yeah, well, he actually played Stallone's brother in 2 movies. He played in Paradise Alley, which is kind of a little-known movie that Stallone wrote and directed and starred in.
That's actually not bad.
No, it's good.
I liked him in the Odyssey as a kid growing up. Like,
I love. He was
me
great.
too.
I love the Odyssey. That shit was badass.
That was a great adaptation.
Not the best TV movie.
Yeah. God, when he goes into the underworld and the shades start coming at him.
It's dope, dude. I want to go back and watch it again.
Oh, so good, so good.
Yeah.
That was a 2-part miniseries, right?
Yeah, maybe even like.
Oh yeah.
I felt like it was like a whole week. You know, it was really good.
Yeah, it was awesome. And one of the things you can always say about Armando Sante is the guy is nothing if not intense. Mm-hmm. He always brings a lot of intensity to his performances. Let's see. Yeah. Oh no, this is actually a piece of fan art.
Oh really?
That somebody did.
Pretty creepy.
Yeah. Now this is I think this is the first place I saw this image.
Mm.
It's a newspaper ad, right?
Dope.
And what's so creepy about this is that you see the monster, but you see the monster in utero.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
You see the monster like in its mother's womb.
Right.
Right? It's in there cooking, and it can't wait to get out and start ripping motherfuckers to bloody shreds. And let me share this commercial, which they're two commercials that really fucked me up when I was a little kid. One of them was for the movie Magic with Anthony Hopkins, right? Where you have, because it's narrated by this ventriloquist dummy that looks exactly like Anthony Hopkins. And he says this little rhyme, and his eyes roll back in his skull, and like that really messed me up. And the other one that really messed me up was this one right here. Check it out.
It is not the offspring of witchcraft or Satan.
And it's like you could hear its heart beating.
It was created by man. It will grow to be 15 feet tall. It will have huge eyes, webbed hands, hooked claws. It will walk upright. And it will mindlessly, mercilessly kill every living thing it meets.
That ain't no lie either, because you'll notice the monster in this isn't exactly eating what she kills.
Right.
Prophecy.
That's pretty cool.
I see that as a little kid, and I'm just like, because there's not a single image
right
from the movie. It's just that.
Yeah, less is more. Again, with the dummy, you know what I mean, with the Anthony Hopkins one. Less is more. You have a single image or two, maybe three, and then you have that good smoker voice or whoever it is, you know, delivering the dialogue. You know, it has something catchy to say. You know, it's not Satan or witchcraft that's gonna get you. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's Mercury.
Yeah,
yes, it's Mercury
menthol,
Mercury
right?
poisoning. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is used in the manufacture of paper products, which we print our comics on. So we're partly responsible for the horror and mayhem and the carnage that ensue in this film. It came out in 1979, right? So this is around the same time as Alien. Alien had been a really big success. So there was like this trend in Hollywood where they're like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take like 1950s style science fiction horror, and we're going to make it with like a huge budget, right? I mean, there's plenty of B movies that with big budgets that I can readily think of. RoboCop, for instance, right? That's a B movie with a big budget.
Yeah.
And Alien, of course. This was made for $20 million, which is actually the same amount of money that was made to make Star Wars 2 years prior.
Man.
Yeah. And, yes, I was talking before we even started that Stephen King really snapped on this movie. in this book right here, Danse Macabre, where he was talking about, he was talking about, it's a classic. Obviously it's really old, and it was written around 1980 or so, right? So it's dated. It's not exactly up to date. I always thought he should do an updated version. But it's also very much of its time. It tells you where his head was at that time, because he'd just become famous. Carrie had just come out and all that stuff. And he said that Dawn of the Dead was a $2 million movie that looked like a $20 million movie, and that Prophecy was a $20 million movie that looked like a $2 million. And I can't deny that. That. Right? And not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you've got John Frankenheimer as the director here. John Frankenheimer is probably best known for The Manchurian Candidate. That's like his great classic.
I remember seeing that name. Like that's a pretty big name.
Yes. And he ended up, unfortunately, his last film was that horrible 1996 remake of The Island of Dr. Moreau.
That's what it was.
Yes. That was, the one that Richard Stanley had written and was going to direct, and then left the production, was fired from the production on day 3. And so they literally just called John Frankenheimer up, and we're just like, you want to direct this movie?
Mutated animal monster.
Yeah, well, I mean, surely. Right, but it's just like, okay, well, when do we start? We're already a week into production.
Right. I actually enjoyed that movie as a kid. I liked it a lot. I seen that in the theater.
Me too.
But I'm sure,
I was pissed.
Did you see the comic book that came out not too long ago, probably about a year or two ago? An indie, I don't know what company, it was Dynamite or someone, but or a crowd, I don't know. But it was an indie. Oh, dude, it looked badass. The Island of Monroe, and really good art.
It's always been one of my favorite stories. The original, it's actually not even a short story. It's more like a novella. It's about 50 pages or so. And H.G. Wells is one of those writers that is very misunderstood, in the sense that people always just think of him as a science fiction writer. But you'll notice that all of his most famous science fiction stories, they're also horror stories, right? The Time Machine has got the Morlocks.
The Morlocks, yeah.
Right? War of the Worlds not only has, the invading Martians, but the Martians unleash this red creeping stuff, right? And The Invisible Man, of course, also very much a horror story. He was a guy whose head was in science fiction, but whose heart and balls were in horror.
Horror Meister.
Yeah, sure.
What I like, one thing I did like about this movie was it just kind of shifted gears. You didn't really know where, you're thinking it's going to be, because I didn't see the trailer. You're thinking it's going to be probably something, to deal with, angels and demons, probably,
right.
Something like Christopher Walken's movie, but it's not.
No.
It's right here. You don't know. You think it could be a demon or something that they unearthed. You know what I mean? And there's going to be a prophecy of said demon. That's what I was thinking. You know what I mean? So.
The very opening of this is interesting, because all you see are these lights that are sort of bobbing. Mm-hmm. And tell me, doesn't this sort of remind you a little bit of the scene in Alien where they're exploring the alien ship?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. A little bit, right? And next thing you know, these guys are just booking through the woods, just hauling ass. And you see something that as far as I know, it's the first time anybody did this, which is to say attaching a camera to an actor and having them running along, like a thing that Spike Lee and other directors kind of popularized in the 80s. I could be totally wrong. I'm not just saying it's the first time that anybody ever did that, but it might be.
Right.
So these guys are looking for a group of lumberjacks who have disappeared. And the hound dogs are just going crazy, and they lead them literally off a cliff.
Yeah.
And so they have to rappel down. And one of the fellows just ends up hearing a lot of screaming. And so what does he do? He wins the Darwin Award. He decides to rappel down and see what's happened to the guys. Who hears screams, blood-curdling screams he just heard like a few moments before.
He's going to rappel down in the dark to a you can't see the ground with this flashlight from the top.
It's like
he's going to rappel down. He don't even know if this rope hit the ground or not.
Okay. Yeah. Now, right. Now, I'm not saying I would not rappel down there, but I'd only be after dropping like 4 or 5 fragmentation grenades.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. That's some Batman shit, though, Brian.
It's like, in the dark like that, you can't see branches. You don't know if your boots are tangled up on something. Nothing.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the dark.
Yep.
You know? I mean...
Sim, real quick, he says, The Island of Dr. Moreau is awesome. Yeah, it is. We're talking about the short story. The movie was not great. No, I think the movie, the 96 version was shit. If you want to see a fair version, check out the 1977 one with Burt Lancaster. That's okay. But the great one you got to see is Island of Lost Souls with Bela Lugosi and Charles Lawton.
We should do one of those soon. If we can.
Oh, for sure.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah. And,
they should remake that movie. That would be a dope movie, or that story. Don't remake it, just fucking make it right, you know?
Oh, it was actually a childhood dream of mine. To like,
yeah?
yeah. It's a
sweet.
Director version of that. One of these days, I would love to do something with it in comics. But yeah, this fool just goes right down there and discovers that his friends have been brutalized and mangled. And that, of course, the thing that's brutalized and mangled them is still hanging out and is about to brutalize and mangle his ass. And we got like this nice montage, right? Beautiful like nature photography in this movie. This movie's shot in Maine, which is just absolutely stunning. And there's a dead dog. Is dead.
Yeah, that was brutal, dude. That was a brutal way to open the movie. Pretty fucking
and they were
metal,
playing
gory,
they were playing like happy music over this part.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Off-putting, very horrific.
Well, yeah,
that kind of got me into it. I was like, okay, this is some fucking horror right here. Off-putting.
Yes, and because what the music that you're hearing is the music, classical music that Talia Shire's character is playing on her cello.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so yeah, no, it's like, because it's a very pastoral kind of lovely scene with like badass carnage.
Yeah, dude.
So it's
look at that pumpkin head, dude. Oh man, you see that?
Bash. Yeah, it's like took a big bite out of the homeboy's helmet.
Man. Pumpkin head right there, dude. Oh.
Yeah. The monster in this really fucks people up.
Dude, he bitch smacks this one guy at the end. It's like, that guy flies so far, dude.
Yes. Oh, we're gonna take a look at that.
Style.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at that because man, there's one of the things
Right? Yeah, you had to get that in there once at least.
No, I can. When I was watching this, I was thinking this is in my head. This is the prequel to Rocky.
Yeah, right. She's in college.
No, this is how she would have been if she hadn't grown into a bad bitch later in the Rocky series. This is who she would have been. She kept being Adrian.
Yeah.
This is her.
Well, see, I thought of it as like she gets, because of the mercury poisoning and all that, that's what causes her to become shy and demure, and she quits the cello, and she goes to work at the pet shop.
Right.
Now you're pregnant.
Yeah, it gets Rocky a turtle.
Now, the main thing we talked about before the show is like the pacing of this, man. It's like I sent Brian a message on Facebook. I don't know if he got it or not.
Yeah.
And I said, man, this shit don't pick up. I'm gonna fall asleep, man. I'm not gonna be awake for the show.
I don't think it's boring for a second, but I will agree that if it lost 15 minutes, that if this was like 88 minutes long, it would be the shit.
Yeah, man, or if the last 40 minutes was the whole movie. I mean, if they made the whole movie...
No, it's not the whole movie,
40 minutes would have been cool.
But it is supposed to be a 50s style monster movie, and so naturally you want to see the monster. and hopefully you see the monster as soon as possible. So, Talia Shire's character has discovered that she's pregnant. Her husband, Robert Foxworth, is what I would call a actual justice warrior. Like, you know how today we have the social justice warriors?
Yeah.
Right? These are people who are really, really liberal, and their idea of activism is they sit on Twitter all day and put people on blast and cost people their jobs, call people's employers up and say things like, "Are you aware that you have a Nazi working for you?"
Oh, Nazi?
I know.
No, I don't have any Nazis working for me.
So this guy is, let's face it, a little pompous, a little self-righteous, but he's a soldier, right? He's an actual justice warrior. He's down in the fucking ghetto, cleaning up rat bite wounds on like little kids in like rotting tenements. So he's somebody that really gives a fuck, but he's also like hyper political to the point that he's told his wife, like, I don't want to have any kids. Why? Because there's too many people in the world. And then she finds herself pregnant, and she's happy about that, but she doesn't know when to tell him, and that becomes something that's really important in this.
This was back during the first wave of climate change stuff in the 70s.
Well, this was because you have to understand what subgenre prophecy is in. Prophecy is in the eco-horror subgenre. That was a subgenre that started in the 1950s with movies like Them, right? Or movies where like radiation creates monsters. Godzilla is an eco horror, right? Another movie that we covered on here that's a piece of shit you shouldn't watch is Frogs. There's another one that came around this time that wasn't very good called Day of the Animals, where something happens with the ozone layer that turns all the animals psychotic.
Toxic Avenger. No.
Well,
that don't really count, but
right. But you get what I'm saying. In other words, man is fucking with nature, and nature fucks back.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are consequences. So, actual justice warrior, Robert Foxworth, is approached by a friend of his, and he's just like, yo, man, this is something you could do. We can actually make a difference, right? Where these Native American peeps that are trying to protect their land because it's just been sold off to, like, a paper mill for, like, 100,000 acres, right? And they say the land is theirs, and they've got a blockade and everything. They're keeping the lumberjacks out. And, the Supreme Court's, said, like, no, that's bullshit. The land belongs to the company. Indians got to go. And shit is tense. And so his friend from the EPA is like, yo, dude, I need you to go down there because you're actually good with people. Like, he has empathy, right? And empathy is a leadership quality. And so he's like, it's like, you're always bitching about how, you feel like you're like Sisyphus rolling the stone up the hill, just have it rolled down, how nothing you're doing is really making a difference. He's like, hey, bitch, go down there and you can actually make a difference. And the place is freaking stunning, right? I mean, this is freaking God's country. And then, of course, you see like the logging from the paper mill. And there's actually a scene in this that's really cool where you see exactly how paper is made.
Yeah.
Right? Where you see it starting in one machine and they see the machine next to that, the machine next to that. Right?
I like the part where he dresses dude down about how much paper his report's going to go.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, you're bitching about the paper, but yeah, what are you going to write your 100,000 page report on, bitch?
I thought they did a good job too.
Yeah, it's Richard Dice.
They did a good job too, still like of keeping it close to the chest of what the monster actually is. So for me, I've gone from demonic entity. Now I'm going into this is Native American skinwalker. This is exactly what it is, or it's a fucking Wendigo. You know what I mean? It's a cryptid. It's not a fucking, what it turns out to be.
Right.
Good job.
Grizzly bear. That's what I got.
Right, because in the poster, and the newspaper advertisement and the trailer, you have no idea what that thing is.
Yeah. I didn't know what the fuck it was.
Except
I just thought it was a little
monster.
Yeah.
Even when I was watching it, like when they get to the scene when they're talking about, how it affects fetuses, for the rest of the movie, I thought the monster was like a mutated baby that like grew and all that. It was only after I was looking it up on Wikipedia, I'm like, oh, okay, like it looked like a bear, so it is a bear, okay, like.
And when they found the baby, I thought it was a wolf at first too. I wasn't sure what it was.
He was standing up, crossing through the water. That was when I got the grizzly bear look. It was like,
actually, you know what the monster in this reminds me of? It reminds me of, like, you know when people put on those, are wearing those, like, those foam dinosaur costumes?
Yeah,
they're running around and the top is kind of flopping around?
Yeah. And then they kept the grit, like, you really don't see it like until the end. They fully show it. It has that Harvey Dent Two-Face. 50s, you know what I mean? They just show the fucking
50s style.
They just show the Elephant Man, like the Elephant Man, like the big fucking mutated, radiated side of his face most of the time, which was another thing which I applaud them for that too.
And this part, when he goes over to look at it, I thought we were going to get something out of this. Like, he's going to go look at the dog and we're going to get something. And what do we get?
No, he just sees the dog being airlifted. By the way,
I mean, he even walked away from the car.
Like Jurassic Park to some raptors.
He walked away from the car like he wasn't even going to get in the car. Like he was going to go check out what's up with that dog. And then
maybe they edited that out, or who knows.
Now you can tell just from looking at that face, that's a good boy.
Yeah, he's like, oh
man, bloodhounds are like one of the cutest breeds, man, because they got those wrinkly faces. You know why they have those wrinkly faces? Evidently, when they go down to sniff on something, all the wrinkles pour forward, and that helps with them capturing the scents. Evidently,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. When I found that out, I was like, really? That's why they got those stretchy faces? Okay. I always thought they were adorable. So Richard Dysart, you might remember him as the Doctor in John Carpenter's remake of The Thing.
Yeah, that's right.
He gets his arms bitten off.
Yeah.
While trying to administer CPR.
Most brutal, one of the most brutal horror deaths.
Oh, he bit it the hardest in that, I think.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
So he's talking about, like, he thinks that, there have been these disappearances. He thinks that maybe the Indians might be responsible. But either way, the Indians are using it as like a way to scare people off. They say it's this creature called Katahdin, which is described as being a combination of a bunch of different animals. Now, if you're a sick freak like me and you've studied monsters all your life, you will know that the ancient versions of monsters were usually chimeras of some kind. That is to say, they were different pieces of different animals sort of welded together.
Yeah.
And this creature appears to be something like that. And there's a scene where Robert Foxworth is describing fetal development, how at one point the fetus looks like an amphibian, then it looks feline, how it looks like it's going through all these like evolutionary stages. So they go to check things out, and they got a little house for them to stay at, and they are blockaded by the Native American peeps. And then of course we get Armand Desante, who's very good.
Axe fight.
No,
and we get
Mitch versus Chainsaw fight was dumb. I'm just saying.
Look, the only thing that's better than an axe chainsaw fight is a chainsaw versus chainsaw.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like an axe versus chainsaw is like a knife versus a gun, dude. It's just.
Oh, I would take the axe any old day because the fucking axe isn't going to run out of fucking fuel.
You're not going to be walking.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm going to step right inside that axe swing where all you're hitting me with is your arms, and I'm going to be cutting your legs off with that chainsaw.
well, here's the thing. It's like he doesn't understand when they get into the chainsaw axe fight that what you got to do with a battle axe is you have to keep it moving. right?
Yeah.
That's the case with all really heavy medieval weapons. Was you're basically going.
Yeah.
The momentum.
Yeah, it's all about the momentum. You let the weight of the weapon do the work.
All the work.
Well, I mean, the dude swings the axe down. You sidestep it. You chop him all up with your chainsaw, dude. It's like,
yeah,
you don't block it with the chainsaw. You sidestep and chop it up. It's like, come on. You blocked it like 10 times. I'm like, come on, man. You guys, neither one of you know how to fight with these weapons. Will you stop?
No, that's good. Well, that's because they're not weapons. They're fucking tools. They're fucking for chopping down trees, not for chopping down
farmers.
people.
That's still a weapon to me.
That's why people are just like, oh, I don't need a battle axe or a fucking warhammer or anything like that, or a sword. I got a baseball bat. Baseball bats are for hitting baseballs, not for fucking killing people.
When you use it to assault, it becomes an assault weapon.
Yes, no, it does, but it's not designed. I would much rather have something that's actually designed to fuck people up. Is what I'm saying.
Surgically.
Let's take a little peek at that.
I don't get the point. What are you trying to prove?
I am the law.
The point is not to be intimidated.
Like neither one of them really want to fight. It's like they don't really want to fight. You know.
So yeah, now the Native American peeps don't trust these white people. Gee, well, I can't imagine why Native Americans wouldn't trust white people. That's just completely that's a baffling one right there.
I don't think they cared so much about the two passengers. He said it straight up, no lumber vehicles.
Yeah, no lumber.
He didn't want nothing to do with that lumber company, those lumber company dudes.
Right.
Oh,
right.
You know.
Right. And so Richard Dysart gets his goon out, gets a bunch of his goons out, and tells them to cut down the trees. Robert Foxworth, actual justice warrior, is like, yo, wait a minute, tries to fucking stop to it. Cut him down.
Why are you going to cut down the tree? Just take.
Oh, come on! Take him down! Wait a minute! Wait a minute!
Here we go. Now it's on, baby.
And it's on like Donkey Kong.
Why didn't you just hit him with that?
Probably because he doesn't want to go to a federal prison for murder.
Yeah, they're just playing.
Now it kind of has to, right?
Basically in a push fight, right?
Well, you see, that's the reason I never understood fist fights, because it's just like, wait, so I hit you, you hit me, and then we get pried apart. It's like, no, if you hit me, I'm going to assume that you're going to be trying to kill me, so I'm going to try to kill you.
Exactly. Let's do the overview.
Just looks down like no big deal, right?
Now, how do you not pay attention to like a chainsaw axe fight?
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, there you go.
Nutsack.
Oh, doink in the face.
Oh, dude.
Now this is
gotta be hurting.
This is the moment that makes me think, like, maybe were they thinking about making this like in 3D? Right? Because this would have been great in 3D.
Yeah,
this shot
cool.
right here, and that would have been a very 1950s thing to do. And he's hanging tough. Now, if you're wondering how they shot this with a chainsaw right next to his neck, they just take the chain off.
Chain off.
Yeah, and that makes them.
Open the chain.
That's how people do juggle chainsaws, for instance.
It actually looks like they have like a belt on instead of a chain. If you look at it right now,
Right.
Open it! Open it! God damn it! What else does it prove anyway?
That they're murderers.
No, it doesn't prove a damn thing. Now open it. No.
Right, but his people give way, and so he ends up being defeated, which is something that unfortunately his people are very accustomed to. Is getting fucking stomped on, kicked in the balls by the white man. And just generally treated like shit. So Robert Foxworth and Talia Shire, they go up to this little, this quaint little cabin that's just freaking beautiful. Has like one of the most beautiful views you could possibly imagine. I mean, look at that. I mean,
Nice.
come on, that's freaking God's country right there, man.
Pretty much.
And then you got a close up of the Winchester, and of course, as Chekhov said, Chekhov's rule: if you show a gun in Act 1, it has to have gone off by Act 3. I mean, come on, look at that. You guys just stepping out your front door and seeing that shit?
Dude looks like a total rookie catching this fish, too.
Oh, for sure.
Like he looked like this might be the first fish he ever caught.
And then he sees like a gigantic salmon.
A giant salmon. Yeah, they make it look giant. It doesn't look. It just looks like.
No, it's the camera trick. Yeah. Right, and it's not like beyond belief. It's not like when they find that fucking tadpole.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a big ass salmon. That's all.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was the origin story for Cyber Frog.
Well, and keep in mind also, it's not like the general water that's really poisoned. It's this one spot.
Yeah.
Right? It's this one spot, and this ain't that spot, but it's close enough. And so they cook up the salmon. That looks tasty, by the way. I'm a
salmon steak.
Yeah, man. And that becomes important. That becomes important that they eat that fish, and then
and there's a tripping raccoon.
Yes, and then after the chainsaw fight, what do we get? Because I'm sorry, Pops, I don't understand. Yeah, I can understand why you would want to see like the monster a little sooner, but I also don't understand how you could think this movie's boring, because you go right from like a chainsaw fight to a fucking
The first hour was like, come on, can we get on with it? And then it picked up good. It was like real action packed at the end, but it was like, man, can we get on with it?
I admit, I'll be the first one to
they're
admit.
Go sit in front of a fireplace, and they're
could have lost 15 minutes. Could have lost 15 minutes.
See, I mean, that had no purpose in the movie whatsoever.
No, well, it does, because it's establishing the fact, right, that she's still trying to tell him, like, hey, I'm pregnant, but she's afraid to. And then, of course, then she finds out that she's eaten this contaminated fish, and that he may be carrying a monster inside.
That never got resolved, by the way.
No, it didn't.
No, it's not meant to be.
That's for part 2.
Right, but also it's not meant to be. It's supposed to be kind of like, okay, well, what next? It's just like, well, these.
Did you guys ever see It?
What was that?
Did you ever see It?
Of course.
That's the sequel to this.
Pennywise. So yeah, Robert Foxworth goes out to investigate a scratching sound and finds this very adorable-looking raccoon in spasms.
You don't look adorable, man.
I just love how it runs up his leg here. You can see that the
I
footage just kind of
shut the door
sped
on
up.
it right.
Here, watch this. Whoa!
I love the sound effects in here, dude.
It goes after her.
The killer raccoon.
They had a $20 million budget. They better have some fucking good sound effects.
Yeah.
Everybody grab an oar.
You got Pete on his ass. Yeah, so he does battle with this freaking raccoon.
With an oar, dude.
With an oar. No, I mean, that's all he had, you know?
That's perfect, though. Everybody grab an oar.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And, it's, you know, an indication that things ain't all right. And, you know, it's interesting watching this. I remember hearing a story from my brother when he was living in Florida. In Florida, believe it or not, they have panthers.
What?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they have.
I think
panthers.
they're a subspecies of cougar, I think.
Jaguars,
Really?
I think. Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think the Florida panther is a subspecies of mountain lion, I think.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not know that. But anyway, what was disturbing as fuck was that they had found one of these Florida panthers that had died from mercury poisoning. And then they realized it died from mercury poisoning because it ate a raccoon, and the raccoon had been eating the fish.
That makes sense.
So that was an indication, like, oh shit, it's like it's that far into the ecosystem, where it's not just the animal that's eating the fish that's dying; it's the animal that's eating the animal that's eating the fish. So, you know, remember, this is like the 1970s, and there was the environment was very much on people's minds.
Yeah, that's what I said. That was the first wave of the global cooling phenomenon, where governments started talking about this, you know, like,
global warming hadn't been really wasn't an issue at this time, but pollution was.
We had 12 more years when I was a kid. 12 more years. Okay?
Right. Oh, always.
Okay, you know.
Right. But
planet was cooling. We were headed for another ice age. That was the shit they were feeding us when I was a kid.
Oh well, dude. You have to understand also that every generation since the first generation has been predicting the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay, it's always the end of the world. But Armando Sante's character makes a really good point. He's just like, you know, what's your concept of the environment? It's just like, had it occurred to you that like we human beings like might be part of that, right? And you're right. It's just because the environment is us and it's being mangled. And he's talking about how people in his village, the women are giving birth to stillborn babies. In some case, deformed children. A lot of people are staggering and falling, and the white guys are saying, "Oh, it's because they're drunks." He's like, "No, it's not because of that." And so they take him to their grandfather's village, and they see that he's smoking a ciggy, and it's burned down to his hand. And Robert Foxworth notices this. And it's just like Talia Shire says later, it's like, oh, like the burn is because of the mercury. It's like, no, the burn is because of the cigarette. The mercury is why he didn't feel it.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a little meme for you, Pete. You want to see it?
Yeah, sure. All right. Hit us with some QAnon, why don't you? Oh, I should use that word. So here, like the
actual life experience. That's all I got.
No, I hear you. I mean, I believe that global warming's for real. I mean, when it's like, this last winter, when it's like fucking 80 degrees out in January, something is up. That's all I'm saying. So then he notices that the roots of the trees are all fucked up too, that these are supposed to be underground and they're above ground. And then they find a gigantic fucking tadpole.
Right.
It's cyberframe. It has to.
That Jim Henson tadpole.
Yeah. Actually, it's a Tom Berman tadpole. Tom Berman was the special effects artist on this. And when it came to like, you have to understand, I was a monster movie kid, so I knew all the special effects artists. The hierarchy went like this. The hierarchy went like this. At the top was Dick Smith, right? His shit always looked the most realistic, right? Below him, Rick Baker. Below him, because Rick Baker had been Dick Smith's student, and then Dick Smith's student was Rob Bottin, who did The Thing and RoboCop and The Howling. And then somewhere down that list, you got Tom Berman. So he wouldn't have been my first choice for this. I'm sure that he wasn't their first choice for doing the special effects for this. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy the special effects in this. I'm saying that he wasn't like the man. And there were certainly people that weren't quite as... John Carl Buechler, I would say, was beneath him. He was the guy who did Ghoulies, where like the special effects literally consist of just hand puppets, rubber hand puppets without a lot of articulation,
Right.
So, yeah,
Mercury.
he's just like, it's Mercury. And he mentions that it's a mutagen that jumps the placental barrier, concentrating in fetal blood cells where it adheres to the DNA and corrupts the chromosomes. Freakism.
Freakism. God damn it.
Yeah. So now Talia Shire is just like, oh shit, like,
He should have figured out by the fact that she was repeating that one part like 3 times that she was probably pregnant.
He's completely oblivious, and she makes a point of that. She's just like, I've been trying to tell you, stupid, and he's just been like, and then he admits to it, like, yeah, no, I've been, yeah, he was just like, he was remaining willfully ignorant the same way that Richard Dysart's character. Like when he owns up to what he's done,
yeah,
he's just like you didn't know about this. He's like, I didn't want to know, and so
he got it pretty bad too.
Yeah, oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Consider right there.
Shit, we didn't get to see shit.
No.
Mind you, of course, this is 1979, rated R movie. You can have like some bloodshed and shit, but you were going to see him like ripped in half, which is what I wanted.
Right. Yeah, that would be pretty dope. Oh damn.
For sure. And then, of course, we come to the camping family. And one of my favorite scenes, what can I say? Let's take a look at this.
All I gotta say is Cocaine Bear ain't got shit on this.
Oh, not even close, man. Fuck that shit. Well, that's the thing, too. Cocaine Bear, that's my idea of a fake cult movie. This is an authentic cult movie, although it's basically a $20 million B movie. It still has its heart in that same place. It doesn't pretend to be anything more than it really is. I'm snickering in anticipation. Yeah, it gets zipped up in there, all nice and tight. Just your face sticking out.
So you can bite it off. Nice and gift wrapped. I think it'll just bite your face.
Yeah, so it's like a father with his daughter and his teenage daughter and young son, and they've decided they're going to rough it. And when they're on the trail, they can tell that they're not digging it as much as they thought they would. I mean, I'm somebody who wishes he could enjoy camping. I really do, but I'm too much of a bitch. Like the mosquitoes and shit. Like when I'm outside, it's just like, no, I want to go. I want my bed and my air conditioning and my and my scent. And my plumbing too. Dreaming sweet dreams. And that's our first look at the monster.
So you don't know what the fuck that is. You can't tell it's a bear.
Right, because it's like half of its head looks melted.
Yeah.
At the time,
Scream
I thought it was
a scream.
Right there looks like a warthog.
I thought it was a. Yeah, at the time, like because of our main character when he was describing the fetal stages, I thought this was a baby Native American that had mutated and turned into a giant monster.
Snap.
Yeah, I thought it was a skinwalker the whole time, or a Wendigo. That's what I thought.
Here we go. That's what you get. That's what you get.
That shit's funny as fuck. Pit smack. Or bear smack.
I just love it because he's just hopping around like he's in the potato sack.
Yeah.
Right?
No, there's a couple scenes in there that got some knee smackings, dude. For sure. That one and the one at the end. He's like, just smacks that fool so far.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, getting slapped by a bear is going to be bad enough. Getting slapped by like a 15-foot tall mutant psychotic bear.
See, that was one Oh, you couldn't do better than that. 57 minutes into the movie, I finally see it, and that's what I get.
Are you telling me that you didn't get a pop out of this? That this didn't make you fucking laugh until you pissed yourself?
It was like,
ow!
Like a fucking pillow, dude.
There's no blood on the feathers. There's no, you know what I mean?
Something like a zit.
Exactly. Blood should have been everywhere, man.
I got pops on that. Yeah.
Too.
Should have been a little bit of blood and maybe a little guts squirt out the side.
His head rolling around. Yeah, I mean,
but no, my problem was, like you said, a $20 million movie, and it just looked like they ripped the fur off the face of a bear or something, Like,
Tom Burman, man, I'm telling you, he was not the shit. He was not the shit. he was the guy that you got because you couldn't get Rick Baker, and you couldn't get Rob Bottin, and you couldn't get.
We want not Rick Baker.
He was down your list, is what I'm saying, because I'm pretty sure that everybody else must have been busy while they were doing this. Mind you, this is at its heart a B horror movie.
No.
It's just a B horror movie on a $20 million budget.
Do you guys choose which people are going to be victims as you watch the movie? Do you go, oh, that one's going to get it for sure?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's going to
be... Everybody does.
Okay. Yeah. The helicopter pilot.
Goner, see ya.
Indian chief, I knew they were done. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
I knew they were done right from the first time I saw it. The helicopter pilot, it was like, oh, you're done. There's no way you're surviving because they ain't gonna have no way to get out of here. You're their ticket out. You're dead, man.
That's true.
For sure. Yeah. Because I mean that is part of the fun of these movies too. But that's also why the horror genres as a low budget genre works so great is when you don't have movie stars. Anybody could die at any moment.
Right?
If you put Tom Cruise in a horror movie, Tom Cruise is going to make it all the way to the end.
Yeah, he'd be fucking riding the motorcycle up the bear's back and shit.
Yeah,
samurai fucking in there at the end.
Yeah, man. So, then they discover, these... and this is a really disturbing scene. There's, a net set up by poachers. Yeah. And to catch just whatever
salmon
comes through there, right?
Salmon net.
Mostly salmon, right? But it's considered poaching because it's just like, well, you're just killing everything rather than just fishing,
totally.
Right?
Bycatch.
Right.
Turtles and mutated bear babies.
Yeah. So they find 2 mutated bear babies, and one of them is dead and the other one's alive. And it's making these haunting sounds.
Yeah, right.
It's just it's terrible, and the Indian woman, Armada Sante's wife, is just let it die.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and Robert Foxworth is like, no, this is evidence.
Yeah.
It's long in the museum. Dead though.
Wouldn't it still be evidence if it was dead?
Yes.
Put it on ice or something.
Yes. No,
no reason to wait to see if it bites somebody. Tell you.
I mean, they've got some big ass, claws in that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You see them chompers.
Yeah, man. And I have to say that these moments, as fake looking as that puppet is, it's really disturbing.
Yeah, you do feel for it. At least
I really
did. Oh, poor little baby.
Oh man.
And I thought it was a baby human at the time, so I felt even worse.
Right?
No, it's a monster bear. It's a monster bear.
It's the Antichrist.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Antichrist.
And this is the moment when Robert Foxworth suddenly realizes what's up.
His
character realizes, because he's looking at how his wife is looking at the baby. And that's when he kind of starts to put 2 and 2 together. And and she says, explains to him that she's pregnant, and he's like, this nightmare's almost over. And she's like, no, it's not a nightmare that's going to end. It's just beginning because it's inside me.
Yeah.
And then she says something really quickly, like blink and you miss it. She says, like, this child, it wants to be born. I feel it. Which is kind of ominous sounding. And
well, we know that she doesn't really have the baby because she leaves that guy and gets with Rocky.
And then, yeah, but then the mercury poisoning lowers her IQ. By the way, Talia Shire, in case you didn't know, her real name is Talia Coppola. A lot of people also forget that she's in both The Godfather, Godfather 2, and, unfortunately, Godfather 3. Oh, man. Why did they make
Nobody should have made it to Godfather 3.
No, definitely not. And so, you get like these moments where there's like, something rustling in the woods. And it turns out to be Grandpa.
Looking like a hippie, right? With the thing over his head. You think it's some stoner coming out of the woods, and then you realize it's the old dude. And it's like, oh, man.
Oh, peace, man. Right. Well, yeah, but it's a fake out, of course. It's a cheap shot, is what it is.
I was looking for the woods, the hermit that nobody knows. That's
the thing. Cheap shots are allowed in horror movies. Yeah, this is another clip from the Scream Show Blu-ray, because this is on Blu-ray. I don't own the Blu-ray, but I do own this, which, God, now I think of it as like almost 20 plus years old. This is the
Crazy, huh?
DVD edition. No frills,
I got a lot of DVDs like that, man.
Tons. Because what was great about these was these would come out and they would be like $10.
Aren't those just like the best things?
They are.
You get these new TVs where you can see acne on everybody and their pores and shit.
Yeah.
You watch these movies. Like when I first got my big high def TV, I started watching all the old movies or just anything, and like, dude, it felt like I was there. But now I don't even. I'm so like used to it, I don't even.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, look, and I understand why some people like crappy old VHS versions of things.
Yeah.
I was there at the Alamo Draft House to watch a toe-up 35mm print of Lucio Fulci's Zombie that looked like it had been stepped on, like it had been like rolled around in like the blood and the cum and like the sticky soda, like that's just all the like just like
New York Times Square and
New York Times Square.
Yeah, in that time.
Right? Yeah, and that was just funny because it's just like a bunch of people sold out, packed, all there to watch a toe-up print.
I was gonna ask you, dude. I was checking. They have one over here. Do they serve? Do they got steak there?
I don't know if they have steak. I know
they got
that
pizza and burgers and or pizza and wings over here. I've seen they have one in like downtown LA. But I was just like, I was thinking about checking it out.
Oh, dude. Oh, first of all, seriously, I think I'm gonna base where I move on like the proximity of an Alamo Draft House.
Huh. Wow. Okay.
But because they'll show movies like this.
Yeah, and then they'll show Indiana Jones or Barbie too at the same time. They got it
absolutely. But they'll have one screen where they'll be showing this or something else, right?
Oh yeah.
And
El Santo.
Also, yep.
I've seen it. They have him like painted on the wall. Like, I was showing my brother-in-law. I'm like, look, they got fucking El Santo there, dude.
Yeah, because they're legit. They're the Alamo Draft House was created by people who are legit cult movie fans, right?
Oh, okay.
And so, like here, for instance, we're close to New York City, so we have all these special events where like directors will come in, screenwriters will come in. Paul Schrader actually showed up. The guy who wrote Taxi Driver. I missed that, unfortunately. But I've met a bunch of other horror directors,
Coscarelli, right?
And shit. Coscarelli. Yeah. Gary Sherman. Joe Bob Briggs every 4 months would do a thing there. Man of the People.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, dude, it was my only like form of entertainment, and then my mom got sick, and then the lockdown and everything. And I've been back one time since, and for Shogun Assassin, which was the shit. And they pared down their menu. Like, they don't have the grilled cheese sandwich. That was like the bomb.
The bomb. Yeah.
That had like 3 or 4 different kinds of cheese and just you know, cooked in butter and stuff.
Yeah. I make a pretty badass grilled cheese sandwich myself.
Oh man, like that with a side of fried pickles was like the shit.
Yeah, I saw that. They had fried pickles on the menu. Yeah.
But the thing that you're gonna really love, microbrew. That is to say,
yeah.
They have a bar where there's nothing but microbrew beers.
Yeah, that's my jam.
And a chalkboard. And of course, whenever I would come in and I would see all this shit, what do you do when in doubt? Ask the staff. What do you like?
The beer snobs, they'll tell you.
Yes. What do you like? And they'll break it down. Like, I really like that peach cider is really good.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a jalapeno beer. I know it sounds nasty, but it's tasty.
I'll try that. Fuck you up, little fire.
Yeah.
Oh man, love that. Yeah.
Chili beer is good. I love hot beer.
Yeah. Look, man, the only way that the Alamo Draft House could be even more like heaven on earth would be if they let you smoke weed. That's all I'm saying.
They just need a weed lounge. It'd be all good.
Well, remember Vaughn talking about how
they gotta make the Alamo Hash House.
Well, because I think Vaughn used to live in Austin, where the original Alamo Draft House was. And he was talking about how, like, in the summer they would do like drive-in outdoor screenings, and how he showed up as Edward 40 Hands. He had a 40 taped to each. But
man.
But yeah, it's the shit. I absolutely love that place. But yeah, let's check out.
Yeah, I remember that. He came on. We were doing the what was that movie that we watched? It was a deep
Shockwaves.
That one was pretty dope.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the best zombie movies ever made.
Yeah.
And then Kane Wiederhorn went and made one of the worst zombie movies ever made, which is Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
That dude just suplex.
Big ass bear, dude. It's a big old like animatronic, though. I give him that, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, look, I love the monster in this.
How you do that?
Imagine that. Imagine.
Get into these tunnels!
Yeah, it's worth mentioning. Yeah, there are these tunnels that are underneath the village that are kind of like, you know, honeycombing the village.
The tunnel! Get into these tunnels!
I love the music too. That. Yeah, I'd be like, feet don't fail me now.
Helicopter guy, here you go.
Helicopter pilot, he's their way out.
Yeah, not anymore. But he's not done yet.
I was yelling at the old man, like, what are you doing just standing there?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, he's out of his mind.
He's menthol
For
mercury.
the mercury poisoning.
Smoking menthol. I love the crowd. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, the sound effects in this are great.
Yep. And right there was like, oh, just a badass motherfucker mutated bear. Okay, I'm on board with this. I was like, okay, I got it.
Right.
But see,
It's like now the monster is revealed. But I mean, to Pop's point, it's like an hour and 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, I could get a little trimmy trim, like each scene. Be nice and sweet, dude.
Right, like if this came in at like 18 minutes, 88 minutes, it would be like perfect.
Oh, dude, yeah, it'd be sweet.
So yeah, everybody, if the movie that we're talking about, Prophecy, if this sounds like something that you would enjoy, and I think if you love monster movies, you will enjoy this. Check out the link below. You can click on it, and it will take you to a free version of the movie. And yeah, we are going to get back to also Ben's campaign. We're going to have to plug that again real quick. Everybody, go check it out. I've read the first issue. I recommend it. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the first book. I don't see why I wouldn't enjoy the second. I intend on backing it when I'm no longer a broke-ass bitch.
Retail bundle.
I totally get that. I have been broke for way too long now.
I'm going to give you one more little piece of advice, man. Your retail bundle, you retailers won't buy it at the same price everybody else is buying it. Okay. They have room to make money, or they're not going to put it on their shelves. So when you're doing a retail bundle, you got to cut a break on it. Okay?
Well, I'm able to edit it. You know, I can.
That's
do
what
that.
I'm saying. I'm just saying, a retailer's coming in there looking at how can I make some money off this. If he has to buy it for $20, he'd have to charge more than you do. How's he going to make any money?
Well, it is the best comic ever made, so you know.
There you go.
You still have to charge more for it than you do. There's no retail action there.
Right.
There's nowhere for
I get you.
You know, so come in about $120 for $10.
Yeah, I need to do a retail bundle. Like, I feel stupid that I haven't done one yet. I'm going to do one on the next campaign for sure.
I got mine when Lucifer did that retail bundle, and I got all them number ones.
Yeah, I never did that. Great idea, dude. I'm gonna do that and the digital one. It's just the way, like, we gotta build the industry back up, dude. This shit's fucking weltering. Any way we can, you know, like we gotta
value
the next generation, bundles, digital, just anything to keep it going, you know.
Look, the collectible value of comics has to change from mainstream to indie because the mainstream isn't providing anything collectible. Okay, so you have to put your emphasis on your collectability value of your books. Which ones are limited? Which covers there's only 25 of these made. You better get one. You've got to add the collectible element into your indie comic if you want collectors to pay attention.
Yes, because that is you know, I mean, what is it that makes something collectible? It's scarcity, right?
Well, it's not just the scarcity, but I mean, it's the popularity as well.
That too.
You know, Ed Gein is in its fourth printing on number 1.
Right.
Okay, that means he keeps selling them out.
Right.
Okay, that means they're popular. Okay, and at the end of the day, I got a bunch of first prints of number 1 because I was on board at the beginning, and I wasn't a dumbass. I saw the value, the possibility that was taking off and becoming, you know, valuable on the collectible market, which there's not that many indie comics that have crossed that bridge to collectible value in the comic in the collectible industry.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I like to have like specific, like if I'm going to run a campaign on like the trade paperback again, I always try to make sure the trade paperback has a different cover.
Right, that too. If you're on a different platform, you make a different cover for that. At least one exclusive cover for every platform that you sell your book on.
Yeah, but this is why it's also important for people like me that aren't collectors to also talk to collectors and find out what collectors want. Because I'm the kind of guy where it's just like, you know what, I'm happy with my trade paperbacks.
Yeah, me
the
too.
only reason I ever The only reason
I just want the guts issues, for the most part.
The only reason I ever bought back issues was just to read them.
Exactly.
But see, the great thing about the trades is there's your reader. Now you get that floppy, and you don't have to pull it out the bag ever because you know you can get that trade, and there's your reader copy that you can read whenever you want, right?
Yep.
My problem with that is the people that only make trades. The collectible value in the trade, man, it is impossible to read a trade paperback and keep it perfect. And keep it pristine. It isn't possible because the corners start to fold up as soon as you start reading it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, some more than others.
you got to give us a floppy, at least of the first, at least number 1, number 2, number 3. Give us a floppy. After that, if you want to trade out the rest of the way, who cares, right? It's number 1, 2, and 3 that have that value at the end of the day down the road.
Hey, Chris. What's up, brother, man? Good to see you. Oh, Sim says, remember Jim Lee and Brett Booth did Kindred? That was a Dr. Moreau inspired. No, I'm not familiar with it.
Me neither. Sounds awesome. Sounds like another book to add to the list of like 90s and 80s and 70s and whatnot books that I'm going to get eventually. So many of them.
For sure, man.
Yeah, don't forget the whole purpose of this is for, you guys want your comic to be remembered after you're gone, right? You want people talking about your book just like they talk about Action Number 1 or whatever, right? At the end of the day, that's what you want. Is legacy, legend.
We want
that outlives you, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget the collectors in this, because they're the ones that are going to make you into that legend.
True.
Right. No, it's true.
That's a valid point.
Absolutely. But like I said, that's why it's important for non-collector guys like me, trade paperback kind of guys, or creators, because we don't think like that, right? So that's why we need to talk to guys like Pops.
I like
and get their input.
Like for me and you, like we love to read the stories and then go back and we're gonna ref them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we need something a little more tangible, you know.
Read the.
That's not what Pops is saying.
Right.
You know what I
mean?
Basically, what I'm saying is that if you want somebody to you got to place that value.
Yeah. No, I understand everything you're saying.
Yeah.
We're taking note of everything that you're saying.
Yeah. Like Preston is a collector, and he had to explain to me. Why what the Brightwisers did was wrong.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I legitimately didn't understand. I was like, boy, everybody's upset about this. I don't understand why they're upset. And then he explained it to me, and I was like, okay, now I get it. But I had to have it explained to me.
That's what I mean. Like, I jumped on Lucifer's book right away, the first printing of number 1. I didn't wait on that until...
I got 1 and 2. I don't have 3 and 4 yet, but...
Dude, I didn't wait on that. I was like, I need copies, plural.
I'd send you mine. I would send you mine, but I already sent mine to my extras to Preston, because he didn't have... 3 and 4.
Oh, I'm gonna get
it. If he likes it, he can send you yours back, or he can keep that. I'll send you one, because...
Yeah. And Pops, you're gonna get my my dead stop once I can actually send it to you. So once I can afford the postage.
Oh yeah. Yes, hell yes.
The die cut cover.
Yes. Actually, don't worry about the postage quite yet, because who knows where I'm going to be.
Okay. But just so you know, if I need reminding, be like, hey motherfucker, weren't you going to send me that dead stop? I got a copy that's pristine, that hasn't been taken out of the bag, that has your name on it.
As soon as I land wherever I'm going to land, then I'll be like, okay, that's one of the reasons I haven't signed up for Fund My Comic yet, is because I don't want people sending books here 6 months from now and I'm not here.
Right. Yeah, man.
Just keep waiting until I land where I'm going to land, and then I'll sign up with my new address, and it'll all be cool.
Things are going to start turning around pretty soon here.
Oh, they will. It's just really,
it's not
really
over
rough
yet.
right
It's only halfway. It's only halfway over.
Yeah, so. and the thing is, it's just really rough right now. Everybody
for a lot of people
is struggling because the economy is for shit.
It's Bidenomics. Kind of stems. All the shit rolls downhill in a way sometimes.
Well, what's the first thing that goes? Discretionary income, right?
Yeah.
Right? People cancel their streaming subscriptions.
The luxury stuff goes away. Yeah.
The
luxury stuff goes away first. Your food, your golf, your comics, all it goes away first, because the bills have to be paid.
Dude, do you know how well we did when those Trump dollars, so those Trump bucks came in?
Yeah.
No shit. We saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
People got that check. We're like, I'm
closing down them campaigns.
I'm gonna back me some bucks.
Leaf blowers.
Yeah. So things are rough right now. Ben, once again, best of luck on this campaign. Everybody, go check it out. Link should be somewhere in the chat or the description. Or you could just go to funmycomic.com.
It is pinned to the top of the chat on the Madness YouTube channel.
Thank you.
It is in your chat, B, but it's not pinned to the top. You'd have to do that.
Right. Because we are all about supporting our fellow indie comics peeps here, for sure. Because we are the future.
I like it. Ben. Looks good, man.
Yeah, it's fun space opera. It's fun space opera. Oh, and who's your new artist, by the way?
My new artist, we got Juanito from Dwarves vs. Lions doing the interiors, and we got Marcos Martin doing the colors.
Nice. Winning combination. Yes, and then of course you have Sim and the Mystery Man who did who split art duties on issue 1.
Render Contender.
Some
6 a.m. I didn't see that.
One of my stretch goals is that I'm gonna get both 6 a.m. and Selena Hernandez to do some chibi stickers if we can get past the red line.
Nice. Yes, 6 a.m. MC Mark Marianelli. I always refer to him as like one of the sleeping giants of of our scene, for sure.
It all looks good, man.
Yeah, it looks dope. And what I like too about his campaign, his book, it's got that fucking blue collar badass sci-fi. You know what I mean?
Yes. High tech, low life.
Yeah,
that's what I
like about Alien. You know?
Yep.
Fucking space truckers and shit.
Yep. Absolutely. So everybody, go check that out. So everybody's final thoughts on Prophecy.
I thought it was dope, man. We all agree that it could have lost some minutes in there. But again, what I liked about it kept you guessing. I like the bitch smacks that he was doing all the time. It was hilarious. I like the creature design, and I also like that the design of the monster kept you guessing on what it actually was. Like okay, maybe it's a demon. All right, it's not a demon. Okay, maybe it's a skinwalker. Okay, it's not a skinwalker. Okay, it's a mutated something. What? Okay, it's a fucking big mutated motherfucker bear. Okay, I had to keep guessing the whole time until the very end, you know. So yeah, crank it up, full blast, the whole, solid darkness, watch it big screen TV. You're gonna have some fun.
Yes,
This is my favorite part of the movie right here.
I mean the climax of this.
He does the Godzilla walk. He does the Godzilla walk underwater. He does the Godzilla walk underwater, and he pops back up when he gets on this side.
Well, it's great because he goes under the mist and into the water, and Robert Foxworth is like, "It's dead, it's drowned," and then suddenly, Armando Sante's got this look. He's not convinced. He's watching that water like a motherfucker. And then, bloop, 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 then you see some bubbles. Oh shit!
I'm also going to give some love to the wet T-shirt contest right now.
Yes, I noticed that too. Yes,
hey guys, I got to peace out.
Native American lady.
I'll see you
later. Matt, much love to you, brother. Tell people where they should find you because we're going to be wrapping up here. So then, of course, we can go check yo ass out.
Yeah,
you can find me on Twitter at RuneCutterComic, and if you guys want, you can check out my book, Butch Cleaver. It's a Gothic horror western about this butcher who gets killed, brought back to life by a voodoo curse. He's got the power to weaponize bone on a molecular level. And he's trying to use that power for revenge, reckoning, and redemption. Check it out, butchcleaver.com. And if you guys want, you can check out my channel. It's Metal Movies and Brewskis on YouTube, and that's the name. Pretty much, it says it all. Thanks, guys, for having me on. Again, it was an awesome show. I had a great time.
I figured you'd get a kick out of this one.
Use box again, brother.
Drop the link real quick in the private chat, and I will share it. Drop the link to your show coming up right now in the private chat, and I will share it out real quick.
Yeah, and I'll hang out in the chat or something like that, or or if you need a co-host or something like that. If I have the energy, I gotta get my fucking drum on real quick anyway. But either way, I'll be watching.
All right, brother.
Right. Peace and love, brother.
Peace, brother. See you guys.
Peace.
See you, sir.
Yeah, man. So Ben, tell these fine folks where they can find you.
Absolutely. Well, you can find me on Twitter at Knights Outlaw. You can also find me on Instagram at Outlaw Knights. And you can find me on Facebook under my real name, Ben Fuselier. Fuselier. And you can find me here on YouTube on my channel Fusebox. And check out Outlaw Nights. You will not regret it.
Yes, I can second that. I can verify the man's claim.
I appreciate the hell out of that.
Oh, you got it, brother. You got it. I've got to have each other's backs. And Pops, tell these people where they can find you.
Don't give that Loch Ness once. Don't do it. Go over there and watch Matt when we're done here. You guys can catch me all the time on the Madness Comic Network or in the comic-related madness over there.
Yes, indeed. Not sure what movie we're going to do next week, people, but I will be posting soon. We'll figure something out. But anyway, just want to thank you so much for hanging out. Smash that like button. Smash the subscribe, ring a ding-ding-dong with the bell for notifications. And Pops, you're going to take us out?
I got you, brother.
Okay, all right. Until next week, people. Peace.
Later.
Love and metal.
Madness Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
The Civil War was America's bloodiest conflict. Over 500,000 died to preserve national unity. When the war ended, Confederates like Harley Brogdon headed west, shooting game for the Army and gambling. When a card game turns deadly, Harley shoots in self-defense, killing the card sharp who threw down first. Wilfred Knorr, the card sharp's wealthy father, will stop at nothing to see Harley hang. Harley flees to Cobb's Gap, an old silver mining town at the foot of the Rockies. A remarkably peaceful town, especially after dark. But the sheriff harbors a dark secret, and no one dares go into the mines anymore. Cobb's Gap is full of secrets. People speak in hushed tones of something in the mine. Something worse than their cursed sheriff. Something even the Indians fear from the deepest pits of hell. Every secret will be exposed. Bronze Star. Order your copy at bronzestarcomic.com.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.